I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have been one of the few people 1,000% against breaking up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I have been 10 toes down for years now on keeping this dynamic duo together no matter what. And I felt like I had been rewarded over the last couple of years. They finally got over the hump last year, made it to the NBA Finals. This year, they get both on all NBA teams. They get back to the postseason as a 2 seed, ready to make some noise. They fall to the Miami Heat in 7 games, and you're going to hear a lot of trade rumors and chatter surrounding the name of Jaylen Brown this offseason. Tatum won't get it. To me, there's not a trade out there that Boston would do to move a guy that says all the right things, that looks the part, that's one of the greatest young scorers this game has seen in quite some time. And now he's become a really good rebounder as well. You just don't trade a guy like Jason Tatum. That won't be a talking point for any team in this league with the Boston Celtics this offseason. You just don't trade him. He looks the part. The ladies love him. You ain't trading him. Jaylen Brown, though, on the other end, is going to probably be the one to get blamed for this mess that has been Boston in the playoffs. Even though they've been very successful, they have not been able to get over the hump. And getting down 3 games to zip to Miami, whatever you think about the Heat, they should have been a 4 or 5 seed. They didn't take the regular season series. At the end of the day, a lot of people believe the Celtics, if they played their game 4 times, they would have been victorious in that series. They lost in 7. I think Jaylen Brown's name is going to be involved in a lot more trade rumors. I thought last offseason he got brought up in Kevin Durant trade rumors, and I came on this platform and told y'all straight up and down, I would not do a Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant trade. And I said that firmly, and I stand by that. I don't think Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum make a lot of sense on the court together. It looks the part. It's great for NBA 2K, but I think Jaylen Brown's been a really good compliment to Tatum. And I know when you're watching the playoffs, sometimes it looks a little ugly when they're not making shots. But be clear, for everybody out there that watches the Celtics play ball in the regular season, this thing works more times than not. Tatum and Brown are resting with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter because they just walk in your trap and take over your trap. Most nights of the season, they are just 2 dogs coming at you, and they win a lot of games together. They have not been able to get over the hump, but they win a lot of regular season games together. Now, I will admit to you this. Following the Celtics loss this time around in Miami, the fact that they got down 3-0, I can't ignore that. I would, for the first time, entertain some Jaylen Brown trade talks. Just because if you look at the scenario, both Tatum and Brown made all-NBA teams, which pretty much means Tatum's going to be eligible for about $315 million on his next deal, which will likely start to get negotiated this offseason. And Brown also will be eligible for pretty much $300 million, around $295, $298 on his next deal because he made all NBA as well. So you got $600 million pretty much spread out the 2 guys. If you look at the way the new collective bargain agreement has been negotiated, you don't have a lot more money if you're Boston than that. That's over $100 million a season on 2 guys. You know, there's not going to be enough cap room to keep guys like Marcus Smart, Robert Williams. You're just going to run out of money. The way Derek White played, he might be able to get a new contract in the near future. You're not going to be able to keep enough of these guys. And you just seen that Tatum and Brown wasn't enough to get you to the promised land, a place that you were last year and lost to the Warriors in 6 games. I would shop Brown loosely to see what's out there, see if Damian Lillard is seriously available, to see if Trae Young is seriously available. I'm not saying I will 100% trade Jaylen Brown this offseason. I'm just saying I don't think it's off the table to shop him. I mean, he shot poorly a lot of games in this postseason. And, I mean, 8 turnovers in a decisive Game 7. You know, for the ups and downs that Tatum had, he did win many games in this postseason run. You talking about a 50-point-plus game in this postseason run. He sprains his ankle at the beginning of Game 7. It's one of them days where it's like, yo, JB, I need you to get this one for me. And Jaylen Brown didn't have him. I mean, he could have easily had 15 turnovers in this game with the bad shots that he was taking, his poor shooting percentage, 8 for 23 in Game 7 ain't going to get it done with the way that Jaylen shot the ball for the most part of these Eastern Conference playoffs. I think what I would do first is see if that Celtics ownership group is 100% committed to Joe Mazzulla. If I had it my way, I would get off of Joe after 1 year. And I know you don't have to pay him his money if you let him go this early in his contract after you just negotiated his contract a few months ago. I know it would look bad. I know it looks like you're pretty much saying you made a mistake letting Ime Udoka go. But look, at the end of the day, that was Ime's mess, not Boston's mess. I would let Joe go and give Brown and Tatum 1 more year to see if they can find a coach out there that knows how to get the best out of them, like Ime was able to just a season ago. I would first switch coaches. Before I lose an all-NBA player, I'm going to definitely switch a coach out. But at the same time, if I'm committed to Joe for 1 more year, if I believe coming back from 3-0 was enough for him to keep his job for the next season, then at that point, then I would definitely see what's out there for Jaylen Brown. I would drop the coach first, though. I would say I've seen enough bad from Joe to say that, not that he's a bad coach or anything, he's just not ready for this moment right now. We got 2 guys that are making Eastern Conference Finals appearances pretty much their entire career so far. We got to go. We don't got time to deal with a young head coach that is literally was on the second row last year. Now he's the head coach. We don't got time for that. We need somebody who's ready to get it done now. I would go that approach, but if the Celtics are committed to Joe Mazzulla for at least 1 more year, then it might be Jaylen Brown. It might be Jaylen Brown. And I hate to say that, but I can't ignore how bad he played oftentimes in these Eastern Conference playoffs.